guys? It's me, the Shadow Dash, and I'm gonna be reacting to a YouTuber who I've been subscribed to since like 2021, and I'm also part of his Discord server too, a Master Ryo Sakurai. And he actually reacted to a Yu-Gi-Oh video months back called Top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh Overkill Moments. And so yeah, I'm gonna react and commentate on his video. So yeah, let's go. I'm also gonna be skipping parts as well because, you know, it's 26 minutes long, and yeah.
Okay. Another.
What's actually cool is, I have the same microphone as him, which you can't see because, well, I have a picture of Utopia as my profile picture on OBS. So yeah, you can't see my mic, but it's basically the same mic he has.
Video to take down in the reaction request. Well, not take down, but to knock down off the list. So this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video, and who requested this?
I kind of wish that I sorry guys. I just had some Coke right now. Cola, sorry, Coca-Cola, my bad. Yeah, you know, like as I was saying, I do wish that I requested this video, but sadly I didn't. Someone else did.
Who requested this? Oh my God! Stop! I wish. Oh my God! Oh my God! If you don't let me go to freaking Blaze, he knows who he is. Um, the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh Overkill moments. Now, somebody may post another Yu-Gi-Oh video, requested another Yu-Gi-Oh video here and everything. All right.
Times in Yu-Gi-Oh when a duelist has been pushed too far or the influence of evil.
Okay, basically, overkill moments in Yu-Gi-Oh is when a duelist goes crazy and attempts to kill their opponents physically, literally.
Is allowed to take over. You get to see one of probably my favorite. You know what I mean? When a duelist abandons all of their previous philosophies,
Yeah, and just
completely embraces the "I'm going to destroy my opponent mentally and over the opponent." I'd like to invite you all to my top 10.
it's been a minute since I watched, because I want y'all to know the only.
Ah yes, the infamous Yuri versus 4 or 5 students at once duel. Ah man.
I don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh Arc V. I don't know about the new Yu-Gi-Ohs. I know about the classic Yu-Gi-Oh up to 5Ds. That's
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm kind of up to date with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I stopped watching Go Rush at the moment. So yeah.
as far as I can go. I'm sorry, but that is as far as I go. As
Yeah, that's fine, honestly. Once again, I'm not up to date with Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Trust me.
far as Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge is concerned.
Simultaneously! Yuri from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 has always been a pretty unhinged character. You never quite knew if you were safe to be around him, especially with that disarming smile. However,
Oh, wow.
at the end of the day, he was a psychopath. with a very obvious superiority complex too, which unfortunately for his enemies, his skills did actually back up. Yuri was so confident in his abilities as a duelist that, just for the lols, sometimes he wouldn't use his actual deck in a duel. Instead, despite the fact he's playing against...
Oh yeah, true. Oh, true. He did that one time in Arc 5 against Alexis Rose because he used this ancient gear deck, but he put a little surprise in there. I won't spoil it, but you have to watch the episode itself.
It's top-ranked opponents like Alexis Rhodes and Sora Percy.
Oh wow!
He would use the mass-produced ancient gear structure deck, proving it was he and not just his deck that garnered him so many victories in a duel. And, well, that on its own could be seen as Yuri flexing and a little bit of overkill. That is not the moment I want to talk about. For me personally, it was when he was challenged by 5 duelists of Yugioh Duel School. Instead of taking them on one by one, he wanted to prove that he was just that much better than them all.
So he took them on all of them.
Duel him 5v1. Although these duelists were unnamed characters, their decks, I must say, were nothing really to laugh at. Within their first turns, they managed to get out Ojama King, who limited Yuri's field, VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon, that could banish a monster every turn, Super Vehicle Jumbo Drill, that could inflict piercing battle damage, and Master of Oz, who had a whopping 4,200 attack points.
Please, 4,200 attack points is nothing. Have you seen monsters such as Armatal the Chaos Phantom, Cyber End, Darkness Dragon, I think, and Malefic Truth Dragon? Trust me, 4,200 is nothing nowadays.
Yuri, completely unfazed by the overwhelming odds that sat before him, just proceeded to annihilate them all. Not only did he beat all 5 of the duelists by himself, but to add insult to injury, he beats them all in a single turn with only his ace monster.
What?
Ouch.
Yep, he literally got his monster over 10k.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's my move. Now let's see what kind of...
Ah, yes, this moment. I know this moment very well.
I've never watched Zexal. Although I heard it was okay. I've never watched Zexal. Episode 97, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, because, like, I think there were how many episodes of Zexal? 146 episodes.
During the duel between Yuma, Astral, and Vector, upon being on the back foot, Yuma and Astral begin to Zexalmorph. However, the merge fails. This was due to the influence of Vector messing with the darkness in Astral's heart. With this failure to merge, Astral forces a Zexalmorph again. But this time, he has abandoned all faith in Yuma as a duelist and a friend.
Oh no.
Astral takes 100% control of Yuma's body. This
Oh
results
no.
in the Dark Zexal. In this form, Astral lost all compassion as a duelist. He dueled only with anger and didn't even care about the damage he took.
Okay, so for a little context here, Utopia Ray V was equipped with a dark Zexal weapon called Chimera Clad, and the effect of this monster was, you equip it to Utopia Ray V, and it loses its number monster effects because number monsters in the anime can't be destroyed in battle unless it's like another number monster. But yeah, anyways, yeah, he loses his monster effect, but then he gains this new effect where he can't die in battle, and if the monster that he battles doesn't die and you take damage, then Utopia Ray V can attack again with double its attack points.
Using his
Jesus.
number C39 Utopia Ray V, equipped with DZW Chimera Clad,
Look at this monster!
continuously and savagely attack Vector's number 104.
Hold on, wait a minute. Go back. I'm sorry, but can we just look at... Can you call this a Yu-Gi-Oh monster at this point?
You want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh monsters? There are some Pokemon that look like Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just want to point that out right now because I swear there are some like Pokemon that you can probably mistaken it like as Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. I can't give names on top of my head, but I swear there are some.
Point. He looks close to a damn Digimon.
Oh yeah, sorry, Digimon too, but but yeah, but yeah, I get what I mean though. Digimon, Pokemon, you can probably like make these mistakes, I guess, elsewhere.
Just like the
allowed him to
he's
continuously
like
and
the mass
savagely
of
attack
his
Vector in the
armor.
true form Masquerade.
What a
Should
freaking
subvert
sight!
the battle, which through the effect of Vector's trap, it did. In fact, Vector was able to increase his monster's attack by 100 points more than Yuma's monster each time it attacked. So, Yuma in a berserk state leans into this infinite situation, where every time he attacks, his monster's attack points double, at the cost of 100 life points.
Oh
He continues to attack over and over again, uncaring that his life points are slipping down to 0. He manages to get his monster up to 83,200 attack points before Yuma and Astral could retake control of the duel. However, had Dark Yuma been allowed to continue with the duel as he was doing, he would have been able to get a monster with 2,662,400 attack, where his final attack
Jesus.
would have been impressive, but it would have led to his defeat.
Yeah, see, these are Yu-Gi-Oh shows I still don't know.
Going back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, this time I'm going to be looking at Zark, who decided to have a non-stop dueling hype train against anyone and everyone who would join in before he obliterated.
Yes. Pendulums. I'm not a fan of pendulums, honestly.
The world. Clearly, it was the
Okay.
best idea from his one-quarter Yuri part. However, Zark, to prove that he is truly the strongest in all the world, duels 10 top-tier Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists in a row, defeating the likes of Asta Phoenix, Sora Percy, Shay Obsidian, Kite Tenjo, Gong Strong, Jack Atlas, Silvo
Oh, I know about
Solitari,
him.
Crow Hogan, Leo
Know about
Akaba,
him too.
and Declan Akaba, all in the same duel. Keep
Okay.
in mind as well, he had a habit of beating 2 duelists at the same time as well, to add further insult. However,
What the
while clearly
hell?
This is Overkill. There is a specific moment in this hype train duel that I think solidifies his OP-ness, I guess. And it was when the Professor appears to duel him.
Zark. What?
Equipped with the very cards that sealed him away all those years ago, the Professor thinks he's going to be the one to save the day. This is not what happens. Instead, Zark immediately OTKs him the very first turn he gets, going for irony as well by defeating him with the cards he brought to fight against.
Oh, that's just cheating.
Get a chance to play your special cards.
Well, it's not really cheating. It's just OP, I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
Keep in mind that the Professor was supposed to be the main central antagonist of the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 series until Zark appeared.
Wow.
So it just kind of solidifies the fact that the Professor is a big fat letdown, whereas Zark is pretty OP.
What's Yu-Gi-Oh! V Reigns?
Okay, first of all, it's Brains. And it's a Yu-Gi-Oh anime that takes place after Arc 5, but there's no pendulums in there, which is a good thing. Instead, we got something called links, which are extra deck cards, in a sense.
For those that don't know, one of the most powerful mechanics in the Master Rule 4 style of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling is something
Oh,
called
Lord.
the extra link. It's basically where for
I'm
a lot of
so
skill
lost.
and correct card combinations, you can make your link.
Those are nice
monster
monsters,
create a
though.
Connection all the way from your extra monster.
Hold on, let me
field your
listen to what
opponent.
he's saying. Cause I don't even know these rules.
For those that don't know, one of the most powerful mechanics in the Master Rule 4 style of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling is something called the extra link. It's basically where, through a lot of skill and
Okay, so extra linking is when you line up your link monsters who have to be pointing at each other And so if you have like an arrow pointing down and one pointing up, that's the extra link in a sense, but not entirely, because you have to then find a way to link that extra monster zone to the other extra monster zone, and it's hard to explain, honestly.
And correct card combinations, you can make your Link monster create a connection all the way from your extra monster zone to your opponents, granting you the ability to summon into their extra monster zone, and essentially lock them out of using their extra deck completely. It's tough to pull off, and it requires quite a lot of resources to get into it, so only a madman or someone that really wants to flex on their opponent would even attempt to pull this off. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, 2 characters dared to try this maneuver. During Revolver and Yusaku's final duel, Revolver, using Yusaku's Firewall Dragon, was able to create a link all the way around the board, making the first extra link ever seen on screen. And while this is impressive, one of Revolver's underlings, known as Spectre, actually one-ups this and does something
Extra link, full mode.
completely locking out lightning from
Holy shit.
However, sadly, he would not go on to win the duel. But honestly, regardless, it was still amazing to see. And with Master Rule 5 on the horizon, this could be the last time you see an opponent be locked out of their extra deck. Treasure it, I guess.
I still have a lot more spoiling to do.
There's a lot of the new shows that I don't know about.
There are professional Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists you see on TV. You look up to them, you aspire to be like them, and out of the blue one day, one of them invites you to have a meet up and duel with them. Sounds awesome, right? However, what you slowly start to realize midway through your duel is that person is an absolute psychopath.
I won't be happy until all my fans get exactly what they.
Ah, yes, Quattro. Yep, this is Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. Most of the characters are psychopaths.
deserve.
Yes, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, a
Oh, no. See, let me tell you something. If you're looking at me like that, I'm getting up off that floor and I'm smacking you right straight in your face.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, honestly. I wish I could do that too, but then again, I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in violence, sadly. So yeah, but I wish I could do that if I wasn't a pacifist.
Door. Ain't no fucking way you come at me normal like, and then all of a sudden we in the midst of a card game and you snapping like this. Like, no, look, I'm smacking the shit out you. Fuck the card game. Fuck the card game. You getting your shit rocked. Like, don't be looking at me with them crazy eyes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? With that purple, what the fuck is this purple makeup on?
It's it, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like a family thing in Zexal. You have to watch Zexal to understand it.
On the side of your face. Take that shit off.
Yes, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, a celebrity duelist known as Quattro invites Bronk and Caswell.
Oh, he's a celebrity. That makes it worse. Makes me hate his ass even more.
He hates them all. He convinces them to agree to a battle royale, and even allowing himself to go last, despite the fact he would be at an even greater disadvantage. During the duel, he coaxes them to bring out monsters that he can use to manipulate the duel later on. Then, when he uses the effect of his giant grinder Xyz monster, he begins to take the duel in a sinister way. As he begins to use his opponent's monsters against them in order to whittle down their life points, and even after he makes the winning strike, he's still not satisfied, and begins to attack again. The result is both duelists being slammed into the ground, with Caswell even breaking his arm from the impact.
Shut the fuck up! Wait a minute! They lose the life points, but you still beating them the fuck up?
Yep. What do you expect?
What kind of duel is this?
I mean, like, that's why it's called Overkill, because, well, you're Overkill.
You won the duel already, but you want to keep beating them up. That really is overkill. That really is overkill. Oh, I definitely smack the shit out you then. I don't care who the fuck you think you is.
Everything's gonna be okay, Bronk.
But hey, at least they got his autograph.
Wow.
Attack!
There we go. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Finally, somewhere. Oh, I think, yeah,
During the
this is where you
Ultimate
get the
Dimension arc
supernova,
of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX,
supernova
Jaden gets
decks.
into a high
Neospatian.
stakes duel against Braun, Mad King of Dark World, who, throughout the duel, keeps sacrificing all of his friends through their negative emotions. He does this to meet the criteria for the creation of the Ultimate Fusion card, Super Polymerization. And as well, he's probably just doing this to mess with Jaden. Upon witnessing the deaths of each of his friends, Jaden just thinks, screw it. I've lost everyone. It's time to go all out. As soon as you hear the most optimistic and fun-loving duelist of what I would consider every single series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Renounce dueling for fun and basically just going all in for revenge, you know something bad is gonna happen.
I used to duel for fun, but now I'm dueling to avenge what you did to my best friends. It's payback time.
It reminds me of a quote I read. There are 3 things all wise men fear: the sea in a storm, a night with no moon, and the anger of a gentle man.
I play the spell card Oversoul.
When you hear that epic music play, you can see Jaden is ready for that overkill. He uses a combination of Neos, Assault Armor, and Battle.
That's actually a real. Sorry, my bad. That's actually a real Yu-Gi-Oh card, which I have in my binder somewhere in my room. But yeah, like that is actually a real card now. The one he's holding.
Of sleeping spirits to continuously beat down.
Oh, not. I said Supernova, the Space Neos decks. I forget
Neospatians.
about it. I keep forgetting about that deck.
No time to counter and leads to Jaden's victory through anger. And it is from this moment Jaden descends into the being known as the Supreme King.
Ah, 5Ds. There we go.
Hopefully you all know this, but in Duel Monsters, the objective is to reduce your opponent's life points down to 0. And that's it. Not to try and kill your opponent. What happened was Carly was snooping around the Arcadia Movement building as some real shady stuff had been going on there. Seiya, a psychic duelist who can make his monsters tangible, senses her approaching. Carly reveals she knows all about the missing children that have been sacrificed in order to find psychic duelists. And when she leaves this place, she's gonna blow the story wide open. Seiya is having none of this, so he chucks
It's been so long since I watched this series.
You know what's actually sad? Of 5Ds only got season 1 and 2 dubbed. Season 3 never got dubbed. It's similar to how GX only got 3 seasons dubbed, but season 4 wasn't dubbed.
Or else, you're not getting out of here alive. You need to keep in mind as well that Carly is pretty much a novice at dueling. She's only ever dueled once before this, and that was with Jack Atlas's help. It is due to this lack of skill, she's very easily outplayed. Seiya, towards the end of the duel, uses his monster to attack her Fortune Fairy, which throws her straight at the window. Seiya was very capable of ending the duel there. He'd clearly won, but he doesn't stop. He announces that her death will look like an accident, and so attacks again, throwing Carly out the window.
Well, actually, in the original Japanese version, she dies, but then in the 4Kids version, she doesn't die. She just gets thrown off the building, and then she turns into a dark signer. Yeah, it's
and down to the ground where she would die. Or if you watch the dub, she fell into a big purple cloud. Don't feel too bad though, as she is reborn as a dark signer after her death. And she basically does the exact same thing to Seiya out of revenge.
She still died though. I feel bad. You killed
yeah.
this girl for no reason. That's alright, you got killed right back.
Well, there was a reason. She was gonna expose their asses. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so fuck
In
you.
this case, I'd say it's less overkill and pretty justified.
Yeah.
If someone kills you, kill them back, I guess.
Later, bitch.
Night, night, little mouse.
Night, night, nigga. Night, night, nigga.
Actually, I'm only required.
GX. Zane.
Destructive mood today, so let's do this.
Fun fact, I used to play Cyber Dragons and Cyber Dark Dragons back when Cyber Dark Structure Deck came out, like years ago. I still have a deck somewhere in my room, but I don't play it anymore because I don't like how you have to take damage, if I'm being honest.
Zane Truesdale has always been known to duel in excess. Having a monster in his arsenal with 4,000 base attack that can be summoned through Power Bond to give it 8,000 attack, it's pretty overkill to begin with. I've seen him have plenty of duels where he goes over the top in terms of attack points, getting out a monster with 16,000 attack, for example, against Yubel, or 36,900 against Jaden. Yeah, they're all pretty big moments. However, the overkill moment I want to talk about is when Zane is on a real bad downward spiral. He has lost constantly after the defeat at the hands of Asta Phoenix. In Zane's lowest moment, he is convinced to duel underground, and is put in a situation where both duelists are attached with electric shock collars that would inflict real damage every time they were hit. Zane does his best to duel against the most annoyingly dubbed voice in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Here we go!
Oh my god. Once again, this was the 4Kids era. I'm so glad 4Kids is gone at this point.
About to get a big boo-boo!
However,
Yeah, I kind of remember that voice. Again, that we're talking about those were the days where freaking that knockoff wannabe Toonami came on.
Oh yeah, Toonami. I never heard of Toonami, if I'm being honest, because we didn't have that in UK. All we had was like Cartoon Network, and I think we also had Kicks later on in life. But yeah, I think it's mainly Cartoon Network.
What was it called? Mizumi on Cartoon Network, and they would play Yu-Gi-Oh GX from time to time. It was one of those weird times, bro. I'm sorry. I really am.
he proves too strong. Zane, having had all his monsters destroyed and being mocked, begins to realize his past dueling philosophy is wrong.
I don't know if it's called Mizumi or whatever, but
Focus
yeah.
on nonsense like respecting my opponents when I should have been thinking about winning.
He now understands that respecting your opponent in a duel is foolish, and you must abandon this way of thinking if you want to focus on what is truly most important: victory.
Not think. I know it with all my soul!
His voice becomes more jaded and uncaring. He takes joy in creating
I mean, like his voice does go back to normal later on in GX, I believe.
his Chimera Tech Overdragon out of all of the Cyber Dragons.
I've actually summoned that monster once or twice, and yeah, trust me, once you summon that thing, it takes out all your other cards. Okay, don't summon it unless you don't plan to send your shit to the GY or graveyard. I say GY because it's shorter. Okay.
Dragons that have perished. By merging them all into one dark creature, he creates a monster with 4,800 attack and 6
Some crazy
attacks.
shit.
And in one turn, Zane inflicts over 11,700 damage in order to wipe out Mad Dog. And it is with this moment that the birth of Hell Kaiser begins.
The Zane you think you knew is long gone.
All right, number 2.
Ah yes, the Monstercado scene.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. I remember this duel.
This is one of the
I
most
previously
iconic
watched this
moments
duel.
in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'd basically be a fool to leave it off the list. During the Waken the Dragons arc, out of desperation, Yami Yugi plays the Seal of Orichalcos. Due to this action, he eventually loses the duel, and as a cost, little Yugi's soul is ripped from his body. I guess we could quickly mention this as well. It's only a small moment, but Yugi is seen as the bad guy in this duel because he starts sacrificing a bunch of his own
Oh, well, technically it's Yami dueling, but okay.
monsters in order to deal as much damage as possible to Raphael. I mean, this act is seen as a bad thing. However, not that long ago, he was doing the exact same thing with his catapult turtle against Panic, and that was fine, apparently.
Right.
God forbid he do it
Okay, well that was different back then because in Duelist Kingdom, I guess it wasn't that risky.
under the Orichalcos' influence, and everybody loses their minds. To be fair, though, he probably did just stop respecting his monsters and his cards, and that's probably where people draw issue from it, so...
Since he's useless, I'll sacrifice my Dark Magician.
Alright,
Okay, yeah, there's a difference
but
with
what I want
that.
to talk about is what happens next. Racked with guilt for losing Yugi, the lone Pharaoh ends up in a duel with Weevil Underwood. Weevil, just to mess with the Pharaoh, says he has the only card that can save Yugi right here in his hand. The Pharaoh, relieved, approaches to take what he believes is the only hope of returning his friend. But Weevil rips it in half right in front of his eyes. And it is at this moment that Yugi decides, I am about to end this whole man's career.
You'll pay for that. Hear me, Weevil? You'll pay dearly.
I mean, if you're even the slightest Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you must know what happens next. But Yugi plays Berserker Soul.
Yeah, he destroys Weevil.
Every time
Weevil-
he draws a monster...
Okay, so in order for Berserker Soul to work, you need to target a monster with 1500 or less attack, and it also has to attack first, mind you. So yeah, and the whole point of this card is because first you have to send your entire hand to the GY, and then you keep drawing cards until you either get a spell or trap cards. But but for every monster card you draw, that monster can attack again and again, essentially.
card.
That motherfucker stopped being... Weevil stopped being Weevil after that. There was no Weevil. Bob Penny. Weevil was done.
He can attack Weevil again. And, oh, what do you know? It's
Weevil-
a monster
Weevil
card.
got pissed
Well,
on,
what about
bro.
the next one? Oh, it's another monster card. What did you get for the next one, Yugi?
Weevil...
I think he drew how many monster cards in total? 4 or 5 monster cards, because the last one he drew was Dark Magician Girl. It's like Dark Magician Girl, but then what happened was Taya came in and told him to calm down. Or what's the name? Or what's the name? Or what's her name from the sub? Anzu, I think. I can't say it properly, but I say Taya most of the times.
Weevil became bitchful
Stop
after
now,
that.
like you've won. Needless
And
to
then
say,
you
I
got
think
Taya, but
Weevil,
I...
it was
Stop!
just a
Stop!
bro,
Man,
had
shut
no
up!
effect here at all.
Alright, what's number one? What's number one? Oh, RV again. Okay. Damn! Look at this!
So, for the number one most overkill moment in the Yu-Gi-Oh series, for me personally, is the duel between the main character of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 series, Yuya
Okay.
Sakaki, and the two-dimensional counterparts of his main gal, Serena and Ruri, who, keep in mind, are possessed by an evil parasite, and keep in mind as well that Yuya has the spirit of one of his alternate dimension halves inside himself as well. Yuya
What?
is a good kid. He wants people to smile, and he always helps those in need. At this moment, his best friend and childhood sweetheart, Yuzu, has been missing, and all he wants to do is get her back home safely. Throughout the duel, he begins to get pushed back more and more. He gets angry at one point in the duel, but Yuto manages to calm him down. Oh, this is probably important to mention as well. Yuya also has the malignant spirit of his former combined self within his body that, under intense emotional situations, can manifest itself and cause basically a whole lot of bad things to happen. Well, he resists the urge to embrace that darkness then, and when the doctor managed to sneak a parasite into his brain and attempt to turn him into an ally. Luckily, he manages to hold on to his sanity once again. Honestly, it's lucky that Yugioh is such a chill guy. I'm sure nothing would get under his skin to make... Uh-oh. Yeah, the doctor brings out the mind-controlled Yuzu, and he starts wiping his filthy old man hands all over her face. And, well, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Yuya goes full berserk mode.
I mean, like, you know, I don't blame him. If some old man is touching your girl, yeah, you're gonna be pissed off.
Summing out the embodiment of his and Yuto's emotions. Odd Eyes Raging Dragon. With this monster, he decimates.
Okay, so Raging Dragon is a rank 7 Xyz pendulum monster, and his effect is, well, I'm trying to remember now. If he's Xyz summon using like an Xyz monster, then you know he can basically use one overlay unit or Xyz material to pop every other card on the field, and then gain 200 attack points for each card like popped, and then he gains 2 attacks like during the battle phase or something.
Mates the field, and when one of the girls says nice try, but one of us is going to survive next turn and then you're screwed, Yuya announces there will be no next turn.
Oh fuck.
And this is where he performs one of the most destructive attacks seen on screen, obliterating 2, keep in mind, innocent girls being mind controlled, going straight through them and blasting out the wall behind them, leaving them unconscious on the ground. Everything from the music, the monster's attack, and the emotions really fuels this moment, and the sheer amount of damage Yuya is trying to inflict in this moment personally makes it my #1 most overkill moment.
Holy shit. Holy crap. See, you don't mess with somebody's woman, bro. You don't do that, bro. You don't do that, bro. You know, and you know what? For these like anime series, it's always the technical, like creepy, geeky dude that's being creepy towards somebody else's girl. Like, why you gotta put your hands on her? Why and why? And furthermore, why do you have to put mind control over her? So you're saying you just want to die at that point?
Once again, that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you.
Wow, yo. Wow. This was definitely an entertaining video. Thank you so much, Blaze, for this. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah. Even though I didn't really watch a whole bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh series, I'm not blind to know that that shit is crazy. But with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Tune in for the next video. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.
Well then, that was my reaction to Master Ryo Sakurai's reaction to the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Overkill moments, and yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is insane, and I also apologize for my rant earlier in this video about mistaking Pokemon for Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, kind of, because I thought he was gonna mention Pokemon, but it was about Digimon. So yeah, but yeah, you know, like that's it really. And this video is almost 40 minutes long, so yeah, I'm gonna end this video now, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.